right, let me see. We're live. We're live. All right, welcome everybody. We're streaming live on YouTube. We're streaming live on Facebook. So share this, tag friends. Anyone who needs to learn about beating their diabetes, anyone who needs to learn more about diabetes medication and ways to reverse diabetes. Okay, we usually do this on Sunday. I'm sorry, it was a Monday. Okay, but usually this is done Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. We had to switch it up because yesterday, at least in the US, was Father's Day. So I'm a father. I have a 3-year-old daughter. We celebrated Father's Day. It was a blast. I was with family. So we couldn't do it yesterday. But in 2 weeks, we're going to do this same event on Sundays. If you missed our first Beat Your Diabetes Live, it should be up on the YouTube. It's up on the Facebook, the Diabetes Council Facebook, or the Beat Your Diabetes YouTube page. Okay, so make sure you rewatch. I'm going to kind of recap a little bit from there. I want to focus on answering your questions. So if you have a question, put it in the comment, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. I'm going to answer your questions as well. In the first Beat Your Diabetes, we talked about why you get diabetes. So where does diabetes come from? Again, we're focused. So for a lot of the time, we're focused on the symptoms of diabetes and not the root causes. So it's time to get to the root cause of diabetes, okay? If you think about it, all of the medication, all of the emphasis is put on the symptoms. It's put on the what, okay? What I want to put emphasis on, what I want to educate on, what I want to teach you all is about the why, okay? It's about the why did you get diabetes? Why are you here? Why do you need medication? Why do you need to be on special diets and this and that? And really, when you understand diabetes, the diet isn't really so special. You don't really have to be on this extremely difficult diet, okay? It gets a lot easier. So again, if you have questions on that, I want to answer your question. Again, I'm going to recap, and then I'm going to get into, we're going to kind of discuss medication. And just as a caveat, guys, so with medication, I'm not going to get into a lot of details as it pertains to you, right? Because obviously there's many of you watching. I need to know your past medical history. I need to look at your labs. I need to look at your current medication list. But I'm going to go pretty general. And more importantly, I'm going to get to the root cause about medication, kind of what medications do, what your goal should be with your medication. Okay, so we're going to kind of get into that. I do have a question here. Thoughts of keto? Okay, cool. Yeah, and so this, excuse me, this kind of gets into what we talked about on the first video. Okay, we talked about the why of diabetes. Why did you get diabetes? What pushed your body to get diabetes, okay? And keto plays into that, okay? Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone saying hi. Let me first ask, is everyone doing well today, okay? Are you guys having a good Monday? Are you guys having a good week? I hope you are. Thumbs up if you're having a good week. Thumbs up if you want to have a better week, if maybe your week isn't going too great. So yeah, again, let us know your questions. We had a question about keto. Keto is big. How many of you have heard of the keto diet? Okay, everyone, right? Maybe your trainer, your friend, your brother, your sister, your mother, your uncle, right? They're telling you to go on the keto diet, okay? So keto plays into what we talked about 2 weeks ago, right? On the first Beat Your Diabetes Live, okay? We talked about fat being the underlying cause of diabetes. Yes, that is it. You're correct. It's fat, okay? So I know some of you are like, what? And maybe some of you have never heard that, but it's really intracellular fat that gets into the cell and it causes insulin, which is a hormone, to not talk to the cell correctly, okay? That's the underlying cause of diabetes, okay? And it makes sense when you think about it, okay? Because if diabetes is solely a carbohydrate issue, then our whole body would be in disarray because our entire body runs off carbohydrates, okay? Our blood sugar is glucose. Glucose is a sugar. That's why we call it blood sugar. Our entire body runs off sugar. Now, again, sugar and carbohydrates, I want you to eat. Processed sugar, processed carbohydrates, I don't want you to eat. Now, the issue with keto and where keto has a platform to stand on is that pretty much with keto, oh, hold on, guys. I'm not getting the invite option tonight. Okay. Hold on, guys. I got to do something. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure everyone on Facebook can see us, but I'll start over where I left off. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Okay, we're talking about keto. I'm going to share the link with everyone on Facebook so I make sure they're here, okay? Give me 1 second. I want to make sure everyone gets to come on. I'll do this as quick as possible. Someone put a comment, give me a thumbs up while I do this. But I'm going to continue where we left off. I'm going to talk about keto, so I won't forget. Okay, I'm not going to forget. So I left off on keto. I'm just sharing this really quick. Okay. Technology, it's great, but it can be crazy. I hope everyone's having a great week. If you just signed on, I'm just sharing this so everyone can see it on Facebook. Hope you had a great Monday. Hope work is going well. I know some people said no, they're not having a great week. So I hope it gets better. I hope you're bringing healthy snacks and healthy food to work. Hold on. Okay. All right, I did it. Okay, keto. Okay, so what I was saying is I want you to eat carbs. I want you to eat sugar. I don't want you to eat processed carbs. I don't want you to eat processed sugar. So what does that mean? Well, with keto, why keto and a lot of keto proponents, and you see a lot of doctors or even functional medicine doctors and chiropractors recommending keto, is that they're looking at studies where they're lumping in carbohydrates all together in one group, okay? So I think we can all agree that the carbohydrates from a brownie and the carbohydrates from quinoa are not the same, right? I hope everyone would agree. Okay, and you can hit the thumbs up button if you agree. The carbohydrates from a brownie is not the same as carbohydrates from quinoa or carbohydrates from an orange or an apple, okay? But unfortunately, in many of the keto studies or the studies looking at carbohydrates, they lump all of those carbohydrates into the same category. So this is where you get recommendations of, yeah, avoid carbohydrates, or carbohydrates are the enemy. Unfortunately, we're not looking at a more specific, we're not going into the details of understanding that when you eat an orange, yeah, you're getting sugar, but that's not the same as eating a brownie with the same amount of sugar, okay? You could eat 100 grams of brownie and 100 grams of orange, and they're going to metabolize way different in the body. Okay, so that's one pillar of the keto diet, which is why they're saying carbs are bad, okay? Now, however, with the keto, there's also no long-term studies, okay? The longest term study I've seen on a keto diet is about 6 months, okay? And I know this is even blowing up even more with the Netflix documentary that's out, right? The Magic Pill, okay? But that's been debunked, and I'll put a link. One of my colleagues debunked it really well on YouTube. And again, it's not going back and forth, guys. I don't want to do this, oh, he said, she said. And unfortunately, it just comes down to a lot of health professionals who aren't taking the time to read the research properly, okay? For example, and I gave this example on the first video, there was a research study that showed the benefits of eating eggs. They said people who ate eggs were able to actually lower their cholesterol and be healthier. Unfortunately, the one group who was eating more eggs was compared to a group who were eating eggs and bacon and sausage and all these other fatty foods. So of course, this group who was eating majority of eggs had lower cholesterol than the group who was eating eggs, bacon, sausage, and all these other fatty foods. So you see how they manipulate you, okay? They're saying, well, look, this group with eggs did so much better compared to a group who's eating eggs, bacon, sausage, and all these other fatty foods, okay? So that's the kind of shady, crazy science we're seeing out there. And then yet, whatever news group, I don't want to really call out anyone by name, but you get a big news organization who sees the headline of that and then runs with it. Oh, keto diet is great. Newest study says eggs help lower your cholesterol and they're healthy for you. That's not the whole story, okay? That's not the entire truth, okay? So when you do eat too much fat, like on a keto diet, okay, you're eating lots of fat, you're eating lots of animal protein, you're eating lots of animal products, what you end up doing is you increase the inflammation in your body. Okay, and that's even if you're eating grass-fed, organic animal products. Okay, I'm sorry to say, because the issue with animals is that we are animals, and there's no such thing as a perfectly clean animal. Okay, animals, especially now in today's age, are going to come across heavy metals. They're going to come across dioxins and PCBs and pesticides and you name it. Okay, when a big animal like a cow or a pig, and then let's go into the water, even a big redfin or a bluefin tuna, or if you eat shark or swordfish, we're talking about big animals here. They bioaccumulate these toxins. Okay, they bioaccumulate these toxins in their fat, and then they end up, you eat that fat, right? So, and then you eat the fat. So if you're eating the fat full of toxins, if you're eating the fat that has bioaccumulated toxins over the years, then you're going to get what's called the endotoxemic effect. You're going to get a boost in your inflammation, okay? That translates into, well, I have diabetes now, or that translates into I have heart disease, or I'm building plaque on my arteries. And it's no, it's no coincidence that those who have diabetes end up having heart disease, or those who have heart disease end up having diabetes. Okay, so and that's why we've coined this term called metabolic syndrome, because these are symptoms that fall under this category of metabolic syndrome. Okay, it's usually diabetes and heart disease combined with obesity give you metabolic syndrome. They're all connected. That's why these fats are connected with diabetes, because fat, and I should say bad fat, is the underlying cause of diabetes. So hopefully I answered your question about keto. That was a very long answer. So so what if I don't like meat? Okay, that's great. If you don't like meat, then that's fine. I mean, that's the whole point. And I'm not saying, look, I deal with patients who are not, I'm not saying everyone has to go vegan. Okay, that's not my message. I'm not saying, okay, everyone here who's listening has to go vegan. No, what I'm saying is that especially in Western culture, okay, in Western culture, we eat lots of animal products. I think we can all agree on that, right? In Western culture, whether it's chicken nuggets, steak, whether it's cheese, butter, fish sticks, whatever I mean, you look at crackers and there's milk fats and there's whey protein. What I'm saying is in Western culture, we eat lots of animal products, okay? All I'm saying is our plant products are down here. The average American eats 15 grams of fiber when we should be eating 35 grams of fiber. And honestly, to prevent disease and reverse disease, we should be eating about 60 to 70 grams of fiber a day. What I'm saying is if animal products are here and plant products are way down here, you can't even see them, we just need to slightly do this. We need to tilt the scales, guys. That's all I'm saying, is you have to add more whole, healthy plant foods into your diet to help you, reverse your symptoms, to help you prevent more disease. Okay, you need to do that to help you. Okay, and this kind of goes to not having meat or animal products be the star of the dish like they would have you in the keto diet, but instead the star of your dish should be plant foods. And then you can still have some animal foods if you want, okay? But it's keeping in mind, like what I said about bioaccumulation, you're talking about animals, you're eating animals. So you have to think, if I'm eating animals, what did the animal eat? Because the FDA allows animals to have tumors and cysts, and there could be pussing, and they're really gross, and they just cut them out and keep the animal moving. Okay, so if you're eating a sick animal, do you expect to be healthy? No. So this goes back to just quality of your food. Okay, so you got to do more plant foods. And again, a lot of us, we seem to think, okay, he's telling me to do more plant foods, that means I got to do more vegetables. Not necessarily. Yeah, vegetables are great, but I'm also talking about fruits. I'm also talking about beans and peas and lentils. I'm talking about nuts and seeds. I'm talking about whole grains, okay? Any unadulterated, any unprocessed plant foods are great to do, okay? Those should be the star of your dish. Then if you want to have a little bit of meat or animal products, that can be okay. But again, it goes back to this idea. you're doing lots of animal products and you're sick, I challenge you to tilt the scales. I challenge you to add more whole plant foods and see what happens. Because a bunch of research is saying it's great. A bunch of my patients who are reversing their symptoms and preventing disease will tell you it's great, okay? And that's why I'm here promoting this. I'm not making this up because I would look like a fool. I'm not going to risk my professional career being live on here saying this stuff if it wasn't working for my patients, if I didn't read it and do it in my practice and in the research, okay? So let me look at questions. There's been some questions going on. So great question. So someone's a Hispanic American with type 2 diabetes. Is rice and black beans bad for diabetes? So that's a great question. Who loves rice and beans? I know I do, okay? So now this gets into the simple answer being no. Rice and beans are great, but there's a but, okay? But if the beans are refried beans, with added lard, if the rice is white rice with a bunch of cooking oil all over it, and then it's kind of fried, right? If we think of Spanish rice, you get a lot of oil and you saute it on the pan, and then you add the tomato juice, right, to make it orange, and it's white rice that you're sauteing with a bunch of oil, then it can get iffy too, guys, because look, I'm not just picking on animal fats. I also want to say too much oil. So if you're frying your foods, even if it's vegan food, okay, if you're deep frying your burger or eating, deep fried corn veggie dogs, you can still be at risk, okay, because it also has too much oil. So I want you to think of oil, and whether it's canola oil or olive oil, whatever, almost like a juice, right? You're technically squeezing an olive, or you're squeezing the canola plant and getting the oils out of it. Too much of that is not good. That's why fried foods you also want to stay away from, okay? Too much, even vegetable oil, can be detrimental, just like if you were to do too much fruit juice, okay? Fruit juice can also be detrimental to your health, okay? But overall, I would say healthy beans and rice looks like, yeah, whole beans, whether they're whole pinto beans or whole black beans. You add some garlic and onion. You maybe season with, your favorite seasonings. You can add a little Himalayan sea salt, or, a little bit of salt. You do your rice. Maybe you do brown rice or wild rice, right? And maybe you're steaming it with some garlic and onion, right? And then you do a nice salad on the side. You have like a little, taco salad with some rice and beans. Boom. Guacamole, pico de gallo, some fresh salsa. That's a great, healthy lunch, or a dinner. And it's Mexican, it's Hispanic, it sticks to your roots, but you're not adding a bunch of unhealthy things to it, right? You're not slathering it in oil. You're not putting manteca, right? So the animal lard, okay? So you're not making it unhealthy, okay? So that's the idea, is to just kind of clean up your food. And that's what I help my patients do, is we just kind of tweak their food, where a lot of things you enjoy eating, you could still eat. We're just going to tweak it, and it becomes healthy. It becomes a food that can help reverse and prevent your symptoms, okay? So another question, what is a perfect breakfast? Okay, so great question. What is a perfect breakfast? Now, a perfect breakfast to me is one that's going to fuel you for a good portion of the day. So this is where, like, I'll tell you my perfect breakfast, okay? My perfect breakfast usually starts with oats. I do whole oats, and then I'll add dates, I'll add raisins, I'll add coconut, I'll add berries, I'll add nuts and seeds, and I do a big bowl of oatmeal. Now, does my oatmeal have a bunch of added sugar, like high fructose corn syrup or agave syrup? Or if you want to get fancier, organic agave or organic cane sugar? No. I do plain oats, and I sweeten it with the berries. I sweetened it with the dates. And there are studies, I hope everyone knows what dates are, right? Those look like big dried raisins, okay? Very sweet. However, there's been studies that show dates actually help with diabetes, okay? With type 2 diabetes. And even type 1 diabetics. I know many type 1 diabetics who eat dates. They're so full of minerals. They have so much fiber. They're really great for you, and they add that sweetness to your food that really helps you curb other cravings for sweet, okay? So there's been studies that show it helps with diabetic patients, okay? So that's my perfect breakfast because it's an easy, simple breakfast. You can make it the night before and have it ready before you go to work in the morning. You can make it in the morning. It takes you maybe 5 to 6 minutes. I love it because it's so filling. It tastes so good because you could add cinnamon and you have the sweetness from the fruit and you have your hearty oats. So I love it for all those reasons because it's quick, it's easy, and it fills me up and it's awesome. So that's one of my favorite breakfasts. I don't know if it's the perfect breakfast, but it's my favorite. And I know what you're all thinking. Oatmeal's too many carbs. Oatmeal's gonna spike my blood sugar. I can't have oatmeal. Again, guys, is it healthy oatmeal, right? Is it healthy carbs and sugar that got you to have diabetes? Or is it something else that got you to have diabetes, right? And like I educated on earlier, it's usually this intracellular fat that caused your diabetes in the first place. When you do too much sugar on top of that, you're gonna make it worse, okay? But it's not the sugar from fruits and vegetables and whole grains, okay? And I can prove this to you because what did you all eat when on this, maybe this past weekend? Did you watch a movie? Did you maybe have a snack you shouldn't have? What did you reach for? So if you're craving something and if you're going to go reach for a snack maybe you shouldn't have, are you reaching for the bag of apples? Are you reaching for Brussels sprouts? Are you reaching for a bag of unsweetened oats? And you got your bag of oats and you're like, oh, I just can't stop eating these plain oats. Oh man, they're so good. No, you didn't. Most likely you got the Cheez-Its, you got the potato chips, you got the ice cream, you got the processed carbs and sugar. You didn't go for whole food carbs and sugar, okay? No one sits there and says, I can't stop eating these Brussels sprouts. No one says that, okay? I can't stop eating this unflavored quinoa, okay? No one says that. And that's because if you do eat these foods, if you do eat that big bowl of oatmeal, you're going to feel full. You don't keep eating 1 bowl of oatmeal, 2 bowls of oatmeal, 3 bowls of oatmeal. No, it's not like ice cream. You get a pint of ice cream. Oh, I ate the whole pint of ice cream. Oh, give me another pint, okay? Or I had a big ice cream. Let me get just another serving, okay? That's not the same with oatmeal. That's how you know it's safe to eat because it makes you full, because it tells your body stop eating. Healthy foods with all that fiber have natural mechanisms to say stop eating. Unhealthy foods that are processed carbs, processed sugar, tell you keep eating, right? Ice cream, like I said, Cheez-Its or the crackers, right? They just melt in your mouth practically and you keep eating, okay? So let me see, I was talking a lot. Let me see if I have other questions. So some people are saying they soak overnight. Yeah, that's great. So Allison, yeah, exactly. And that's why I love it. So again, you don't even have to cook oats. You could soak them overnight, which is really great. And they're done in the morning. So you're just doing easy stuff, guys. Because remember, I'm all about real life. I'm all about real life tips and tricks. Okay, I'm not here to be like, here's this app you got to use. Then you got to count your calories. Then you got to count your carbs. Then you got to count your fat. Then you got to weigh your food. Then you got to use a food journal. Who does that? Okay, 9 out of 10 of my patients do not do that. Okay, it doesn't work. I don't do that. I'm healthy. My labs are great. I exercise every day. I feel amazing. I don't do caffeine. Okay, I do not do all those things to make it hard. I keep it very simple, and that's what's important, is keeping it simple. Okay, so we got a question. Is it really reversible? So I'm guessing, is diabetes really reversible? So let me clarify this. And we didn't really even get to medications, okay? I know we're almost out of time, but we'll probably flip that or roll that over to next time. We'll talk more about medications and we'll try and hit on it a little bit. But we don't have much time left. But I want to try and answer your questions. So if you guys have more questions, give them to me now so I can answer them right now. Is diabetes really reversible? I will say yes. And I'm speaking on the fact that 95% of you roughly have type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes can be reversed. However, okay, there's a but if you've done too much damage. So type 2 diabetes can do a lot of damage. It can do a lot of damage to your nerves. That's why you get tingling in your hands and your feet. So you get neuropathy. It can do too much damage to your kidneys. That's why a lot of your family and friends that you know, or maybe some of you are on dialysis, right? Your kidneys are failing. Maybe one or two of them have failed completely. Okay, you get type 3 diabetes now, which we call dementia, and even like the Alzheimer's spectrum, right? Because basically when you have too much sugar in your blood, you're disrupting even the blood flow to your brain. So you get an increased risk of Alzheimer's and dementia, okay? So it depends. If you're type 2 and you've done a lot of damage that's irreversible, you do pass a certain tipping point, then it's not reversible, okay? But a majority of you out there, it is reversible because you haven't passed that tipping point, and a majority of you are type 2. To speak to my type 1s for a second, because I don't want to leave you out. For my type 1 diabetics, it may not be reversible, and in some cases we're finding some type 1s can reverse, okay? But in a majority of cases, type 1s are usually not reversible. However, if you're taking a bunch of insulin, if you're on many medications, eating healthier and making these healthy changes will help you decrease your medication. It'll help you feel better. It'll give you a better quality of life. So in some ways, the symptoms you're having, even as a type 1, can be reversed as well. So I hope I answered your question there. And so someone asked about pre-diabetes. Okay, so honestly, guys, I got to be honest. I'm taking a stance on pre-diabetes. I'm almost really want to say I don't believe in pre-diabetes. For me, it's either you have diabetes or you don't. Okay, this whole idea of pre-diabetes, I think, gives you a false notion that you're okay. It gives you this thing of like, oh, I only got pre-diabetes. I'm fine. I'm not type 2 diabetic. I'm pre-diabetic. Really, for me, treat it like you have type 2. And I think I've said this before in my other videos on YouTube. Treat pre-diabetes like you're type 2 diabetic and make changes immediately, because you don't want to waste time. You don't want to cross over technically, even though you kind of do have diabetes, you don't want to cross over into type 2 diabetes, because you're going to be at more risk for those symptoms I was just talking about, right? Those other ailments that you don't even want to go into. You don't want to get neuropathy. You don't want to be on dialysis. You don't want to increase your risk for dementia and Alzheimer's, okay, amongst other things, heart disease, stroke, you name it, okay? Diabetes increases your disease risk all around, okay? Even cancer, okay? So you don't want to do that. You don't even want to be in that situation. So treat pre-diabetes like you have full-blown type 2 diabetes. Make the changes I'm discussing and talking about. Guys, we have some really cool stuff. I'm revamping my online course that I'll be sending out to you guys. We're going to be revamping an ebook I'll be sending out to you guys. So we just want to, honestly, I know it sounds cheesy, maybe sound corny, but like we're just trying to reach as many people and help as many people possible. I see patients all the time. They're thanking me all the time. And so I've been seeing success with the tips I give, with the resources I give, with the information I give. And we want to try and use this technology, go live using our websites, using our resources to get this out to as many people as possible. So if you're not subscribed to the Diabetes Council email list, make sure you like and follow us on Facebook and YouTube so you're connected, so you're updated when we do another live, so you're RSVPing to our events through email or through social media. So make sure you're connected and plugged in so you're receiving the latest information. I'm going to get the hang of this live thing, okay? We're going to be better about it, I promise. I just had a busy day. I've been seeing patients all day. So, I'm on the go. So I thank you all so much. I really appreciate your question. And someone said, how do we get the info? So again, if you go to the diabetescouncil.com, you can sign up for the email list. You'll get the info. Follow on Facebook as well. Subscribe on YouTube. We're going to update all around, okay? So when that info comes out, you're going to get it, okay? Like I said, I'm revamping the ebook. I'm revamping an online course. And this online course is really special because it's going to be a one-time payment and you get the online modules. So I'm going through everything, guys. I'm going through type 1, type 2, pre-diabetes, diet. I go through recipes. I go through everything. And it's going to be on video modules that you can watch over and over. And the best thing is once you pay a one-time fee to access it, anytime we update it, I'm going to have guest speakers. I want to have more chefs come on to show you how to cook. Anytime we add a new video, there's no additional cost, okay? You still get access to all the videos. Right now, there's 21 videos. They're about, they're not super long. We really try not to bore you. We're just trying to give you useful information. But if I have a guest chef come on or a guest doctor, we add more videos, you're going to get access to that at no extra charge, guys. So it's going to be really special, really great. So stay tuned. Check back again on YouTube. Definitely subscribe to our email list. Someone asked how much. It's going to be $39.99, guys. That's nuts. We spent so much time on this, so to charge you $39.99, we hope all of you support. That's a price of like what, taking the family, not even taking the family out to eat. You spend way more than that, depending where you eat. Hopefully you're eating at a good restaurant, okay, guys, not the junk food. Okay, but I mean, it's $39.99. That's like taking your family out to a movie or going out to eat. That's the cost of a nice shirt at a, at a clothing store. So for that price, you get to beat your diabetes. You get to get the education and get really plugged in. We'll get the update on all the newest videos, especially ones we're going to do really fancy, way fancier than this, and have guest speakers and guest chefs and teach you how to cook and what to eat. And that's going to always be updated. So that's coming very, very soon. By the next time we do this live, I'm going to have a link for you. I'm going to have all that information. So make sure you're connected. Subscribe to the email list for the Diabetes Council. Like us on Facebook and YouTube. And guys, I'm signing off. So I hope I try to answer as many questions. We're going to do this every 2 weeks, Sunday at 7 p.m. This is Pacific Standard Time. We're going to do our Beat Your Diabetes live. So have questions ready. Next time, we're going to touch on medications, and I'll be answering questions again. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful night and a wonderful week.